Hello, 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 everybody. I am so excited. Lisa's not wearing a wig. She is a redhead. But I know on our flyer she was a blonde, but a girl's got to have her thing, right? A girl's got to do her thing. I am so excited to have Lisa Wilson on here today. We'll tell you who she is, and I'm sure all you TikTokers, you know it. I love it. Out of the broom closet and into my heart. Okay. Yeah, you got to see that live now. And hello, Jean Lynn Franco on Instagram. So good to see you, my friend. When are you coming for our podcast? When are you coming so we can tape a podcast? Hello, Carson, and hello, Jean, and Lisa Randall, and Maria. Lisa, love the hair. And Diana and Priscilla's here. Priscilla. And welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. And thank you. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Exciting.
Now, this evening, it's very exciting. This evening, and Delora's here. Hello, Delora. And hello, thank you. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in, say hello. And here's the thing, guys. This evening, what we're going to talk about is thriving in a spiritual business or business, spiritual practice, whatever you want to say. I am really inspired by Lisa's job. And what I mean by that is she was Fortune 500, guys. She was doing the mundane work of the 9 to 5 and all that stuff. And you have worked with some bigwig companies and you decided to now branch out on your own, and you are working with people that don't know, like myself, guys, because Lisa is going to be changing the website coming up soon.
Yeah.
Helping people like me who know nothing about the SEO and the TEO and the FOO with the boo OO and all the O's that you can find and all the stuff that my brain's like, I have no clue. You take the spiritual woo-woo piece and the traditional business and you marry them. And and the TLAs. Yes, the TLAs. They have no idea what that is. So the talas. Yeah. That's what that stands for. So how did you get started in this, Lisa?
So I have been a serial entrepreneur for about 15 years. I've started and sold multiple businesses. Before really going out on my own, my most recent, we went to over $3 million in revenue in the first 14 months of being in business. So we got very big, very, very fast. And I had to learn, because I was managing others, and I had to find the right group of people to handle different departments. And I am a firm believer that when you have a company, you should know how to do every facet of that organization. So I had to learn marketing. I had to learn all of the digital stuff. Also, I'm a little bit neurodivergent, so my hyper focus became the marketing side and sales. So I've really leaned into that and found a lot of interest and found my home in that department.
So what would you like? I know you and I have talked, but what would you tell somebody that's like, I'm a Reiki master, or I do energy work, or I do I do retreats, or whatever it is. What would you tell somebody that's, how do they get started? Like, what are the important pieces they need to know when having a spiritual business? Because I think us spiritual people are very creative.
Yes.
But this other part is like, woo! And then it doesn't come up. It doesn't, at least for me, I knew like the very, very nuts and bolts of it, but it didn't look as professional as I wanted. And I know that many of us are really good at what we do, but we want to come off in a professional way.
Yeah. So a couple of things. So from an operations standpoint, my biggest thing is always buy the domain for your website before you do anything, before you're searching for it somewhere, before you are registering it with the Secretary of State to start your business, because there are companies out there that go out and buy domain names based on searches to have to sell it to you for like $25,000. It's
Right.
crazy. It's a whole
And
industry that does that.
someone did that once. I had a business before my business became my name. My business was called Reawakenings, and I used to love it. I used to, because that's when I was doing massage working, coaching, and everything else. And it was reawakening for the body, mind, and spirit. Do you know that I forgot, silly me, forgot to pay it one month, and it went away, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get it. I'm gonna take a little hiatus and I'll come back in a month. Anyway, do you know somebody purchased it and I couldn't get it back? I had to change it to, instead of reawakenings.com, I had to change it to reawakeningsllc.com.
Yes. And that's really hard. There's been many times that I've had an idea, not even just for a business, but for a new arm of my business or for a new product. And it's that's where the intuitive side comes in. I'll be laying in bed at night and something will just come to me. And the first thing I do is I get up and I go on GoDaddy.com and I purchase the domain. So that way I might not ever do anything with it, but hey, it's $12. I've spent more on less.
Say, is it $1,000? $1,000.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're trying to get something that is for sale already, but on GoDaddy, you can get something for $12, and then you have that peace of mind. It's good for a year. And if you don't do anything with it, you can sell it. Actually domains go up in value too. If you do something, I have a few that are for sale right now that are like $3,500 that I could sell them for, that I purchased for $12. So there's some real estate involved in that as well. So from that side, for operations, I would say purchase your domain. That's very important. From the marketing side, there's an exercise I do with all of my new clients. You actually got to go through it as well, Elias, where I have about 20 questions that makes you really think about who your ideal client is and really who they are as a person, right? What do they do on the weekends? What do they do after work? What's their favorite thing to eat? What do they like to do in their free time? Because you have to think like the end user. You have to think like your avatar client. Think about social media. Do you like, when you're on social media, do you like seeing ads or do you like seeing somebody's content?
Content, of course.
You like content, right? Content's more fun.
Right.
So your people are probably not going to like a whole bunch of ads from you all the time. They're going to want to see content that is giving them some free advice, giving them some idea of who you are as a person. So really just trying to think about what it's like to not know anything about what you do and start from the very beginning and educate people. The more you educate them, the better off you're going to be, because they'll want to use you because you'll become the expert that they need to consult. I just had a client that I finished one of their websites, and they were a little bit concerned that we were maybe giving a little bit of information on the site about their practice, like what they do and how they do it. But really, they could find that on a regular Google search anyway, right? The end user. So why not be that authority? Why not have people go to your website for that authority? Because most people are not going to want to dig in to the details of what you're doing. If it's tarot or astrology or Reiki, they don't want to take the time to learn about it themselves at a deeper level. So they're still going to want to move forward with you anyway.
Well, and Carson said right here, she's like, and your avatar client may not be who you think once you go through those questions. I bet. Huh, Lisa? Okay. Good. Excellent. Excellent. And I referred a client to you, a friend of mine to you. And guys, he will be on Facebook soon, because he's like, well, now that the website's done, I think I'm ready. He was not a challenge for you. It was interesting because David, I'll just say David for right now, guys. Yeah. David does astrology and numerology, and he wanted to do something unique by combining those two together, but he also wanted to stretch it, and he had a niche market that he wanted to kind of go into, right? He wanted people that normally wouldn't be on TikTok, like doctors, lawyers, to understand that there's a strategy and there's really something that goes to this. He wanted to have those people understand that there is a scientific piece to that work. Is that correct?
Yeah. the importance with websites too, to try to find some of those niche things, especially the more niche you are, you have to think about what people are searching for on Google. So let's take you, for instance, Elias. You're an
Okay.
intuitive motivator, right? But how many people are going to Google and saying, I need an intuitive motivator near me, right? So while that is a very niche thing, it's very specific, we're still, we're educating people about what that is, right? So people are more probably inclined to search for other things that you do that they're more comfortable with explaining, a medium or, intuitive developer or a psychic or, some of those things that they're
Co-reader.
searching.
There are people
Yes.
that do that, by the way, guys. There is people that do
Co-reading.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Yeah.
Stinky profession, probably.
Yeah.
But so people are searching for those terms. So while we're still going to bring them to your site and we're going to talk about what being an intuitive motivator is, we still want to grab them by some of these other search terms. So there will be other headlines on your website that talk about being a psychic medium, being an educator, things of those nature. So that way people can come to your site and then we educate them further from there. So the more niche you are, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to hurt you. You have whole pages that could be dedicated to something that you're trying to grab people with. Google is changing their algorithms all the time, and it's leaning more toward AI. So it's, trying to answer the questions and having AI search the web even further. So you want to be able to answer questions. For those of you that have looked on Google lately, let's say I want to find a pizza place near me, or you're finding a recipe. What's an easy recipe for a Monday night? You'll see those questions underneath, like, oh, these are other common questions people have asked that have also searched for other things. You want to make the headings on your website verbatim be some of those questions. What are some of those questions people are asking? Yeah, because that will be, your website becomes that authority, and then Google says, oh, well, this website asks this exact question and answers it. So here you go, and it serves it up for you. So that's what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah.
Hey, Isabel, thanks for being here. Ginger Parrot, Healing Heart Medium.
Hi, Ginger.
Hello, my friend. Look who it is, a new redhead, a redhead. Ginger, Lisa, and I were all together in Florida, everybody, and you were so gracious. You took us to this cute little place. Tell them what it was, because I always mix up the
Casadega. They say where Mayberry meets the Twilight Zone is how they describe it.
Yes, and we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun there. So how many of you, I want to know, you guys on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, how many of you have a spiritual business and really don't know what to do with it? Really don't know what to do with it. Ginger said it was such fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and good eats too, everybody. We had good eats. How many of you have a business, or you want to put out a business and you just don't know where to get started? It is something like, as Lisa was saying, even if you start on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, even if you start putting out little blurbs of what you do, and each thing is fresh. And like Lisa was telling me, she's like, Elias, just go ahead and like do 10 videos in 1 hour. You don't even have to change your shirt. Just do that and give them a little bleep of something. Hello, Susan. Slayer Selections. I would like that. Okay, so tell me, Slayer Selections, what do you do? What is it that you can do when we can do a little spiritual coaching here in the business world? And you also do a lot of cool stuff. Like you make candles and you make potions and lotions and house cleansing stuff. So that's why out of the broom closet, everybody, and into my heart. Okay. Slayer does ceramics and crafts.
Oh, very fun. Very fun. Yeah. So, so I'm sure, there's a lot of people that go on Etsy for that. Etsy takes a lot of a financial cut. So it would be great to have something that's just on your own website that you could also link to, Etsy, but have your own storefront as another option, because then you get to keep all of the proceeds for yourself. Etsy takes, more than half in some situations, which
Wow.
is
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of money if you sell on Etsy. Um, but talking about the social media side of it, so I have Out of the Room Closet. That's kind of my for funsies one. But when I had my other business that we did risk management and COVID compliance for television and film. That was my major international company, and that brand, it's actually, I still have that account on TikTok. I haven't done anything with it in I don't know, 3 years. But I have over 55,000 followers on that account. And I went viral from my very first TikTok. And what we did is we did behind the scenes stories about risk on different films like The Wizard of Oz. So my series on The Wizard of Oz had over 8 million views in the first 48 hours on just one video alone. Yeah. So it really just is finding things that people find interesting. And the more broad you can make it to cast a little bit of a wider net to kind of bring some of those people in, the better. People love to go on TikTok specifically for education, for snackable content. So the under 3 minute
snackable content, everyone, with a little hot fudge on the side, little snackable content. Okay. Right.
And, and then for YouTube, you're going to be able to monetize a lot more with YouTube. You make a lot more money off of YouTube than you would on the other platforms. So YouTube is going to be more for your longer form content. That, again, educational. You want to offer more to people. You want to give more than you receive for your clients, because they will want to trust.
I still don't understand. I don't understand YouTube. I mean, I'm on it. I have gotten past the 1,000 mark. Still don't know what the heck to do. But that, I'm sure, is something that we're going to talk about. I knew I loved you, Lisa, says the YouTuber. There you go. And yes, it is outthebroomcloset.com, guys. Outthebroomcloset, all one word, .com. Hey, Terry. Thank you for being here. And hi, Patty and Fashionton. Hello. Thank you for being here. And Amanda, good to see you. You fooled me there for a second. And Kuklali, hello, how are you? Lil, Kuklali, Lalil. I'm screwing up the name. Anyway,
so YouTube is owned by Google. So you're going to have a lot of the same thing. Keywords are going to be really, really a big deal. Your descriptions are going to be a big deal. Engaging with people in your comments on YouTube will be really big, because then it boosts things. And also, if you have longer form content, even your lives, actually getting a transcript. So going onto an AI can transpose the whole thing and just put the transcription in the description. Then anybody that's searching for anything that we talk about, this video would pop up. So it's just all about the written content on YouTube as well.
Because I would never know any of that. I would never know what to do or how to do. I still don't know a lot of it. But do all that stuff. And that's why someone would hire you. What about a spiritual person? And this is what I enjoy about Lisa, everybody, because she gets the woo-woo. She understands the woo. She has a PhD in woo. So with that, you want someone that's going to get what you do. Right, Emmy Scamahorn? You want someone that's going to understand that you can talk to the animals and do healing. For some reason, I cannot chat on Facebook anymore. I don't know what happened, Amanda. Shocking. So transcription also brings in the deaf community.
It does. Yeah. So the closed captioning or the transcription. Yeah. Either. Yeah. So, and then, with TikTok, you can do the closed captioning with TikTok. You probably should do it anyway for the deaf community. Also for people that just aren't in a situation that they can't hear something out loud. But the other thing with TikTok specifically is, put your keywords in the actual video. Type them out. You can shrink them down to they're almost non-existent, right? You can hide them in the corner somewhere. but they're still being read by the AI. So when somebody's searching for something that your content has to do with, they will find it because it will be indexed correctly on TikTok. So if you are going through, I'm going to pull up TikTok really quick to just show you. If you're going through on TikTok and you're seeing on one of your videos or somebody's, I'll do it on one of mine because I haven't gone through and done a complete audit of all of my stuff because, the cobbler's kids have no shoes, right? I do it for everybody else. I don't do it for myself. So we'll even do it for the TikTok that I did today about here. So if you go on and you see this little thing up here, where it says find related content.
Yes.
If you see find related content, you're not being indexed correctly. But if you go onto your videos and you see that little search bar at the top of the video and it says psychic medium, or it says Reiki, or it says whatever that is that your video is talking about, then you're being indexed correctly. But if you see find related content, you're in Siberia. So if someone who's not a follower of yours is trying to look for something that's like Reiki related or healing or whatever, you're not going to show up. You're not being indexed. So you want to make sure that you are putting those things into the content. You're using closed captioning. You're adding the keywords, again, as text in the video. Even if they're hidden, it still works.
What about adding hashtag your name? Is that good or no?
It's good. I would recommend still doing it as text inside the actual video itself and hiding it because that will go even further.
That's challenging. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to, just for fun, see, because I think it's very interesting. We'll go with something like this. Oh, see, I have that. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I have find related content.
Yeah. So psychic know-how. So yeah, I would probably even in like another little section somewhere, I would hide even more verbiage down there that says, teaching about psychic skills or psychic tips. So whatever you want to be searched for. And again, it's like Google. What do you think your avatar client is going to be searching for? I do most of my TikTok now.
Really?
Teeny tiny. You type it out and then you just shrink it. You shrink it. So when you're in the editor,
somewhere,
you just hide it. Yeah, hide it somewhere, and you won't even notice it. Yep. I gave this recommendation to someone that it was the first time they had heard about it, and they instantly had all of their videos be searchable within the first week of doing it. So they called me back and they were like, "Oh my God, it totally worked." So yeah, it's like a little magic trick.
I don't know any of this, and for me to do all that takes so much time from my day plus everything else that I do, and that's why. Would you suggest getting someone who does virtual marketing, or what is it? Virtual marketing, virtual.
You do like a virtual assistant. Virtual assistant, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that way you can say, "Hey, here's the gist of what I'm trying to accomplish in this video. I need it to be under 3 minutes." I have a friend. She, it's Up Talk with Tracy is her TikTok handle. She does amazing automatic writing. She's fantastic. She takes her 90-minute sessions and she will trim them down herself to under 3 minutes for these TikTok videos. I don't know how she does it. She's crazy. She sits there and really fine tunes them, does an amazing job. But it takes her a week, multiple days to try to get it done the way that she wants it. So I would highly recommend finding somebody to do that task for you, because that's the other thing with owning a business. What is your time worth? So sometimes, like they say, the old adage, you have to spend money to make money. So if you're charging $200 an hour, right, and you're spending those hours editing videos, which is not bringing you any money necessarily, and you can pay somebody else $20 an hour to do that, you're still up $180 an hour, even paying that person to do it, because then you're focusing on actually doing the thing that you love doing. So that's how you have to think of those things. Yes, you're spending money, but you're doing it in the appropriate way.
I'm going to ask, does anybody have any questions they want to ask Lisa? And if you do, and you want to, come on live, and and I'll kind of like whoosh away, and the two of you can have a little chit chat for a moment. Carson says, learning your business worth has been just as important in my world as the personal worth. Exactly.
Yep.
A VA.
Love that.
VA does not just stand for Virginia. It's a virtual assistant. Yes, thank you. So the dogs are going to bark in a second.
Okay. Barking on the truth.
Not that bad. Not that bad. Anybody have a question for Lisa and feel like they want to pop on and ask, because it's really, this is the important stuff, guys. This is the really important stuff. And we can have you come on. I don't know how we'll do it on Instagram, but we can definitely do it here on Facebook and YouTube. Do not be shy. Hey, Danielle, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
And yes, it is a lot of work, and that's why someone like Lisa, to get all that nuts and bolts all taken care of, is great.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I never know what to charge for my art.
Yeah, I was just going to say that is another really big one, is trying to figure out where you are in the market. So a lot of what I do for clients in the very beginning is I will do research into their top competitors in that exact niche, what their competitors are doing, what kind of advertising, what their websites look like, what their price points are, and where you want to price yourself. Because you might think that you want to be priced the least expensive. You are like, okay, I want to be the lowest because I'm going to grab everybody. That's not necessarily the case, because then people will think that you're cheap, that you're not worth it, that there's a reason why you're priced so low. So you want to try to find that sweet spot to have yourself priced. So I will do a whole market research, and then I also do what's called a pro forma, which is where I will make a whole spreadsheet about all the different offerings that you have, what we should price them out at, and then what your expenses are going to be over the next like 3 years. And then say, okay, here's when you're probably going to be profitable if we're starting to put these things in place for you.
Well, here's Delora, you don't have to come on camera. You can just go ahead and come on, because I'm going to go grab something. So come on, and then I can go grab something because I want to show Lisa something. So and that way I don't have to go, hold on, everybody. So so come on, and if you want, let me see. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. And we'll just copy that. And I'm going to grab it. And Delora, I am sending it to you. I'm sending it to you via email. And then you can come on and go from there. Okay, there we go. I think I did it. Oh, and there's Lisa. What happened? Is Lisa frozen? She might be frozen. She might be frozen. And it's funny because she's in Florida, so she shouldn't be that frozen. Great question, Delora. So let's wait for her. Hopefully she's coming back. She is coming back. Delora, come on, and come on and see what's happening. See what's happening. Because you okay, little girl? What happened? Oh, it's okay. You're all right. Up there she is.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Delora's gonna pop on in, but not use camera. So come on, okay. Delora, come on in. You can do it. You can do it, because this is a good question. It's amazing, amazing. If she doesn't come on, I've been debating. Oh, here she is. No camera though. Okay. No camera, or you are doing camera? Okay, you're gonna have to do camera, unless you not do. I see you, but you don't have to do camera. Please hold, callers. Please hold. Please hold. 2 holds, 3 holds. Now she's doing this. Must be 4 holds. Okay, she's going to look for her screensaver that just shows her beautiful
her beautiful face. Yeah.
It's really her logo is what she's looking for. Okay, so we'll add Delora, and then you guys, if you have any questions for Lisa, please ask. Look at you, she's wearing the same shirt. Yay, thank you. Oh, you're just gonna hold that up, Delora, and hide your face? All right, that's what we're going to do. So please hold everybody while we bring Delora on screen. And then I'm going to
Hi,
go.
Delora.
We have matching shirts. So my question is more of the business stuff because they don't always teach you that. Specifically, when is it appropriate time to take the time and money to become an LLC? So at what is it, a certain dollar amount or right away to protect your personal assets?
I would say right away. And depending on what state you're in, it's sometimes it's as low as $50, and then some states it's as high as I've seen it like at $150. I would recommend you don't even need an attorney to really file that paperwork for you if money is a tight obstacle for you to get started. But your EIN, which is your tax ID number through the federal government, that's free. So the only step that would actually cost you money would be with the Secretary of State. So you would just go in with the Secretary of State, file whatever documentation that you would need. And then it usually takes them about a day to a week to get back to you with that filing. And once you get that filing number, you can then go to irs.gov and put in for an EIN. And that happens like pretty instantaneously. Once you do the request, you get it electronically, and then you're good to go right away. So I would highly recommend doing that just from a liability standpoint, especially if you are making stuff like candles or anything like that, anything that somebody could potentially sue you over for any reason, I would highly recommend it.
And then if we're just offering a service like coaching or something, we need waivers and we need disclaimers on the website.
Yeah. So disclaimers are really important. Sometimes you can just get away with the boilerplate things, but it really depends. I have clients that, especially in the space of doing intuitive work, being very careful. Like, this is not advice per se. Like, if something goes crazy in your life because you went a certain direction with it, I don't have any liability in that. It seems silly that you would have to say something like that somebody could come after you, but behind every rule there's a story, right? So and the thing with lawsuits is they might be frivolous, nothing might come of it, but you still have to pay to defend yourself. So the more that you can protect yourself on the very front end, the more important it really is. So they say like an ounce of prevention is a lot better than having to defend yourself later, whatever the saying is. But yeah, so an ounce of prevention is much more worth it.
Okay. And then tax filing. At what stage are you hiring an accountant?
Yeah. So, that's a great question. So I've always had bookkeepers that just did my stuff for me. You can find bookkeepers remotely that will do it for, $100 a month if you're not doing anything, that crazy. But if you want to do it yourself, the easiest way to do it, make sure you get a business bank account that's separate from your personal finances, because it will really help you in the long run when you are filing your taxes. And if you get QuickBooks Online, I think you can get it for like $25 a month. A membership, you can just link it directly to your bank account. So if you have especially like a Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Chase, it'll link automatically, and every single transaction will just go directly to QuickBooks. So you could just then say, oh, this is a marketing expense, or this is, a travel expense or whatever. And then at the end of the year, when you go to file your taxes, it does all the reporting for you. So that would be the least expensive and the most, it's the least time restrictive for you as well. Let the computers do as much of the work as it possibly can. But I do recommend, because you are going to have to file taxes. I'm certainly not here saying don't pay your taxes, but you definitely don't want to get hit with an audit. But I would say is the sooner you can keep things separate from your personal finances, the better you will be.
Okay.
So important. And you guys, Delora's going to be on, just so you all know, Delora's going to be on with me
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, August 7th. I'm like, August 2nd? No, August 7th.
I'm still training him with my language.
I don't speak fluent Delora yet. I now just got the vocabulary of Delora, but I don't have Delora's sign language yet. We're working on it.
More training.
Thank you for your input, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
It was good to see her. So we've got some questions here. So
Oh, great.
Carson said, what about insurance for consulting, coaching, and energy work?
So liability insurance is really important to have for anybody. It's pretty inexpensive. You can get up to like $1 million policy for maybe a couple $100s for the year. Especially if you have like a less risky business, right? So, consulting and coaching is pretty, it's lower on the risk scale than, a roofer would be, right? They're very high risk,
Right.
but,
yeah, because the roof is on fire and you have to be careful. So I'm sorry, that's where my head goes. All right.
So yeah, that would be, that's absolutely something you want to look into. I wouldn't say that that's like you can't open your doors before you have it, but that is something that you will want to look at, especially as you're growing.
Carson says that's great info. Thank you. The QuickBooks info is great. It's gotten more popular since I've looked. True. Maria says for QuickBooks Online, you just need the basic version. Don't let them upsell you. Don't do it.
Yeah, they'll do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And that's another thing too. So as you're collecting payments from people, what I also recommend for my clients is make it easy for people to give you their money. Don't make it complicated, right? So get PayPal, maybe get Square, get, all the different platforms, and then you can link them to your bank account. But something to keep in mind if you're using any types of merchant services like this, Square, QuickBooks Payments, you can also take payments that way. They will hold your money. They have discretion to hold it for up to 6 months while they investigate whether or not it's a fraudulent thing. So when you go to sign up for any of these merchant services like credit card processors, you have to show what you filed with the Secretary of State. You have to show your tax ID information for the business just to get started. But your very first few payments that come through, you have to also prove there's a contract, and you also have to show an invoice. Otherwise, they won't release payment to you because they're afraid you're either a terrorist organization or you're laundering money. So be aware of that on the front end. I once got slammed. I had a $20,000 payment that QuickBooks Payments was holding for me, like over Christmas time, like in the thick of everything. And I had employees to pay, and it was crazy. And they were trying to hold it. I think I finally got it free after like 3 weeks, but it was a very long 3 weeks waiting on that payment to come through. So just be aware of that. Be ready on the front end. If you send the paperwork in, they'll pretty much turn it around quickly. But if you don't have invoices or you don't have contracts to show them, they'll hold it.
And Lisa, this might be a great workshop that you could do sometime.
Oh, yes, that's a very good idea. Actually.
Very good idea. You can do a workshop and put it out there, do it on Zoom, and
yeah, that's a great idea. No, I would love to.
It's an amazing idea, isn't it? Wow, fascinating.
All these things I forget that I know.
What about states with fortune teller laws? I think you have to be cautious of the words that you use. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. States, I just finished a website for a law firm. Also, there's a lot of regulations on legal websites. So yeah, you definitely, you have to be careful on what claims you're making, especially if your state has very specific regulations around that. You're going to want to research that. And if you have someone building your website, you want to make sure that they're looking into things like that when they're building your site, and they're not making claims, and they're adding in the correct privacy policy information that you have to have, and also disclaimers, So
that's really important, that privacy policy, super important. Yeah. Also, I know that when I took a business class from Lisa Williams, she also puts in there, for entertainment purposes, solely for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
So think about that. Carson, you take the class. Excellent. I bet you there's a lot of people that would take the class. Let's see. Anyone else before we wrap it up, everyone? So much good information. I know. And this is the thing, guys. Everyone on here talks about the woo-woo, and we do readings, but we don't talk about the nuts and bolts. And that's why with this theme of Thrive, I wanted us to have a thriving business. I want all of you that are interested in this to have a thriving business. And because Lisa understands the woo-woo and she understands the business field, this is a great match for those of you that are like, hey, I really want to know more. And I would say, if you need help, contact her, get her services, outthebroomcloset.com. Carson said this was awesome, Lisa, and you'll come back and talk more. Of course she will.
Of course, yeah.
I'm going to book her.
Well, and if you go to my website, you can schedule yourself for a free consultation with me. So my calendar is up there. So you can get yourself on there for, a 30-minute. We can kind of talk through what some of your issues are. And if I think it's something that you might just be able to handle yourself, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not here just to take your money. I'm here to help everybody succeed.
So true. Very, very good and great information. Guys, let me tell you what's coming up. We've got next month, guys. I can't believe we're already here. So on the 31st, I am traveling. On the 31st. We're going to California. We're going to go visit Maria. I'm kidding. Maria's like, what are you coming this way? We're going to visit John's family. So, we'll have someone here taking care of the dogs. And so there's no live Wednesday, July 31st, unless there's a surprise live. Who knows? You never know with me. And then coming up in August, I'm just going to tell you, it's very fun because it's the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. One of your good friends and soul sisters is going to be on the 21st, and I'll let you know who that is. On the 7th, we have Delora. Delora is going to be on August 7th, and the theme is Connect for August. We have Jenny Marie, who was on TLC's Mama Medium. Mama Medium will be, not Mama Mia, but Mama Medium will be on August 14th. Your soul sister, Jamie Williams, will be on. Her first ever live will be August 21st. So those of you that have been on retreat with Jamie, please come and support her. She's going to talk about connecting to your health. So she is her health coaching business, and she has this great little info. I don't want to spoil it. Hey, Helen, good to see you. Thanks for being here. And then we have Oracle Trish and Sarah Bluebird readings that are going to be on the 28th. It's all about connect. Just like this. Connect, educate, and grow. So thank you. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And then we've got some couple surprises coming up for September. I'm super excited. Brandy Hudson, who was supposed to be on our live the other week, she is going to be on September 11th. On the 4th, it's Labor Day weekend, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Okay, so thank you for putting that on here. And then August 10th, we have a double feature. And I don't think that's on the website yet, but something that is on the website is, guys, I'm doing a freebie thing. I'm doing a freebie. Yes, freebie. I just lost it for a second. I was trying to read what Delora was writing. I am going to be doing a free Zoom workshop on August 22nd. Thank you. It's called Unlike Them and Unlock Them. Unlock your psychic senses. Unlock your psychic senses. And that is going to be on August 22nd. It's on a website. Go take a peek. Yay, a freebie thing. I know a freebie thing. So, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Lisa, you're always amazing. And please come back. because I know that there's a
Oh, yeah.
lot of information, and I appreciate your input. Remember, everybody, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful night, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.